steroids. Ain't nobody ask. Did nobody check him for no steroid? I said, he had quick hands, he would hit. I said, why y'all ain't checking for steroid? He ain't checking steroid. And then...
You think he was on steroids?
Of course he was on steroid.
And what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids.
Some way responsible for the performance-enhancing drugs that are being used by fighters that fought in his gym. Specifically, off the top of my head, you have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez had popped for...
Boxing legend Evander Holyfield has stirred major controversy by suggesting Canelo Alvarez may be linked to steroid use. With tensions high ahead of Canelo versus Terence Crawford, Holyfield's explosive remarks have triggered heated debates and speculation across the boxing world.
Greatest Mexican boxing fights of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. So I feel like I'm 100% confident in myself. If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me. Especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does five?
You saw De La Hoya
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. All those fucking dudes in that camp are doing.
Although Holyfield stopped short of directly accusing Canelo, he has consistently called for harsher punishments against fighters caught using banned substances. Back in 2018, after Canelo's positive test for clenbuterol, Holyfield argued that athletes using PEDs should face jail time, even suggesting a minimum of 30 days behind bars.
Alvarez failed a drug test before his big Triple G fight in May, and he's blaming Mexican cows. All right, here's the deal. 2 months until the rematch with Gennady Golovkin on May 5th is going to be the big fight, and he's been taking drug tests leading up to the fight, standard operating procedure. This time he popped for a substance called clenbuterol, which is a banned substance. As a matter of fact, it helps you cut weight. A lot of people use it illegally to cut weight while maintaining muscle mass. He is saying he did not cheat, he's not a cheater, I did not intentionally take clenbuterol. Problem is, I've been training in Mexico and eating contaminated cow beef. That's what he's saying. There's a problem apparently in Mexico where some of the cattle are being injected with clenbuterol, which helps cows. It's illegal in the United States, but some places outside the United States, and some places in the United States, will use clenbuterol to grow bigger cows, to up the protein content in the meat. And he's saying that what he had was contaminated meat because his training center is in Mexico and there's a problem with Mexican meat down there. He even issued a statement saying, quote, "I'm an athlete who respects the sport and this surprises me and bothers me because it never happened to me. I will submit to all the tests that require me to clarify this embarrassing situation, and I trust in the end the truth will prevail." So far, the fight with Gennady Golovkin is still on. He's still dead set on making that fight.
Floyd Mayweather has also blasted the boxing establishment, claiming there's a clear double standard when it comes to performance-enhancing drugs. He insists fighters like Canelo receive leniency due to their fame and market power, while others are punished harshly. According to Mayweather, this imbalance damages the sport's credibility and allows high-profile athletes to avoid accountability. He stressed that PED use isn't just cheating, it endangers fighters' health and threatens boxing's integrity.
What we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights. Canelo, and the list goes on and on about athletes that's been cheating.
Been accused of cheating or been proven?
No, been proven too.
This been proven.
Yeah. Oh, Canelo. Oh shit.
This been proven.
Lance Armstrong.
And then Canelo talking about it was the steak that it was the meat that he was eating. So okay, now you eating. I guess you're eating steroid cows. Man, these boys kill.
David Benavidez has gone even further, outright accusing Canelo and his camp of steroid use. He questioned why Canelo would avoid fighting him if he truly believed in his own ability, pointing out that multiple members of Canelo's team have already tested positive for banned substances. Benavidez claims this is proof that Canelo's camp has a dirty reputation.
When the greatest Canelo came out, the one that you guys seen that fought Triple G the first time, bro, dude popped dirty for clenbuterol, bro. Why do you think the second fight didn't happen? So, for me, seeing that was the best Canelo I've ever seen. But that was Canelo off of steroids. Everybody else that he fought Amir Khan, he fought Daniel Jacobs, he fought, what the f is his name, Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. These guys are all weak, bro. So for me, that's why I feel like I see Canelo Alvarez and I see like, he's not as good as everybody thinks. Because the best one that fought Golovkin that first time was off clenbuterol. That was the best Canelo I've ever seen, and that's why he looked so good, because he was off clenbuterol. So with the Canelo, he even got suspended for like 7 months.
So it's guaranteed he was
guaranteed he took it. He said that he ate meat that was tainted in Mexico.
Now, let me ask you that question.
I've talked to people. They said for him to test positive off a piece of meat, he would have had to eat.
Much of this controversy stems from trainer Eddie Reynoso's gym, which has repeatedly faced criticism after several fighters tested positive for doping. Canelo, who trains under Reynoso, has been tied to these allegations in the past. Critics argue the environment raises serious concerns about oversight and practices. Now, as Canelo prepares for Crawford, many are watching his rapid physical transformation with suspicion.
Serious accusations about his gym. And the accusations are that people, or at least the implications are, that he is the one that is providing performance-enhancing drugs or is in some way responsible for the performance-enhancing drugs that are being used by fighters that fought in his gym. Specifically, off the top of my head, you have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez had popped for clenbuterol 2 times. For Fahim Satur, I'll say that he did it 2 times, even though I think it was for the same fight. But Canelo Alvarez popped dirty for clenbuterol 2 times. You have Luis Nery, who had tested positive, but I think Luis Nery tested positive before he was with Eddie Reynoso. Then you have Ryan Garcia, who popped dirty after he left Eddie Reynoso and went over to Derek James. And then you have Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez popped dirty while he was with Eddie Reynoso, but at the time he was still allowed to fight. You also clearly see that you have an issue with the fight that's coming up with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, in that you have one guy that tested positive and you have another guy that looks like he's using in order to get up and continue to climb up weight classes. You know, at a certain point in time, and this is something that Rolly Romero has said, certain point in time, your body just doesn't do that. At a certain point in time, your body just doesn't do it. I'm 6'2", 200, and should weigh about 210. Closer to 250, but I should weigh about 210. I'm not gonna get up. If I was 210 now at 50 years old.
Experts have pointed out that adding large amounts of muscle naturally in one's 30s is very difficult. Yet Canelo's latest transformation shows him looking much bigger and more muscular than before, sparking fresh questions about whether those gains are legitimate. Given the doping history connected to Reynoso's gym, many analysts remain skeptical of the training methods and environment surrounding Canelo's camp.
If I'm juicing, if for a 30-year-old, right, you remember, your body grows, men's body can grow in height and length up until to the extreme in your 20s. By the time you're 20, your height and all that stuff is there, right? Your height and your length. In your mid-20s, you know, by the time you're 29, your musculature is pretty much there. It gets harder to gain and put on muscle after 30.
Even Joe Rogan weighed in on the issue during a recent podcast, revisiting Canelo's past clenbuterol suspension and the controversy around his physique. Rogan emphasized the importance of transparency and fairness in maintaining boxing's credibility. His comments further fueled speculation as Canelo prepares to face Crawford. Many fans argue these new allegations only reinforce suspicions, since Canelo has already tested positive once before.
What up, everybody? It's your boy MC from MCTV. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo Alvarez is on steroids right now as we speak and is going to be fully juiced with something that hasn't even hit the market yet. Think about it, he's pretty much a billionaire.
Despite the storm of accusations, Holyfield has openly praised Terence Crawford's brilliance in the ring. He highlighted Crawford's unique ability to switch seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw, making him unpredictable and hard to counter. Holyfield likened this adaptability to life itself, where constant adjustment is key to success. In his view, Crawford's sharp reflexes and versatility make him an exceptionally dangerous challenger.
Going left-handed and right-handed, how do you deal with someone like that?
Well, I don't know, did nobody switch up on me about it. So it's hard for me to say, but I know life is about adjustment. You have to make adjustment. To be successful, adjustment is always going to be the difference between how far you going to go.
And this is the last one because I just thought of something. Obviously, Fury Usyk, a lot of people are talking about for undisputed. You know, you were a smaller guy, and you almost beat. A lot of people thought you beat Nikolai Valuev, who's even taller. Even taller than Tyson Fury. How does a small guy Usyk defeat a tall guy like Tyson Fury?
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, also expressed total confidence in their game plan. He acknowledged Canelo's size and power but insisted their preparation has been flawless. McIntyre believes Crawford's ability to adapt mid-fight will allow him to handle the physical challenges of facing a naturally bigger opponent.
He's going to get the victory. Second of all, I'm just happy for him and the team. So, you know, the world can see once again why he considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
There was many a time where he was maybe struggling to get certain fights, and then he had to almost kick that door down. Is it nice to see him sort of getting the fruits of his labour now and getting that generational wealth off the back of what is, obviously it's a hard career boxing, you don't get given anything.
Definitely that. Definitely good to see him get, like you say, fruits of his wealth. Get me fights that, again, will show the world why he's the best fighter in the world. Show the world why he's the best fighter in the world. You know, I'm just happy.
Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of Muhammad Ali, also shared his perspective. He revealed that Crawford has been sparring with much larger fighters during camp to prepare for Canelo's strength and pressure. This strategy ensures Crawford adjusts to the intensity he'll face at super middleweight, showing just how calculated and disciplined his preparation has been.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build-up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow boxing. You can see it.
Even Shaquille O'Neal has backed Crawford, stating his belief that Crawford's precision, technical skill, and determination will overcome Canelo's experience and power. Shaq's support only adds to the hype, as fans debate how Crawford's sharp skill set will match up against Canelo's strength.
Talking about the one fight right now, Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Who do you got?
I gotta go Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford?
Yeah.
Why?
This is the best ever.
Really? You think he's the greatest ever?
Yeah.
Over Ali, Muhammad Ali? I didn't know you were a big Terence Crawford fan like that.
You have to understand that there's eras, and in different eras, you can bring around the titles. Like, for example, Joker's the best big man alive.
Right. You put Joker over you as the best big man?
It's different eras and different time. It's not my era, not my time now.
True.
It's their time. So he's the greatest big man in the NBA right now. So I let the people decide who's up. But right now, Terence Crawford is the best.
So
and Floyd, because Floyd has never lost.
So how does Terence beat Canelo? Decision?
He's
or?
gonna knock him out.
He's going to knock Canelo out?
Yes, man.
So they're going to have the fight at the Vegas Stadium, Raider Stadium. You're going to be there?
I heard it was off.
No, it's back on.
Okay,
now it's back on. It's in September 13th in Vegas.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there. Front row?
Of course.
All right, cool. You're the...
Still, analysts point to a major difference between the fighters: experience at super middleweight. Canelo has been dominant in this division, unifying all major titles, while Crawford is stepping up for the first time. For many, this weight class gap is one of the biggest challenges Crawford must overcome.
There's no Triple G on Bud's resume. There's no Trout on Bud's resume. There's no Daniel Jacobs on Bud's resume. Canelo is the one that's fought the elite level opposition. It's Canelo that fought Laura. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ.
Yeah, but Bud is an elite boxer.
So you're an elite boxer, but you haven't fought elite boxer.
Trainer Robert Garcia believes timing could favor Crawford. He notes that Canelo's recent performances have looked less explosive compared to his prime. If Canelo's sharpness is fading, Garcia argues Crawford may be arriving at just the right moment to capitalize.
Canelo, because it's a fight that that most of the people don't give Crawford a chance because of the size, but he's got skills, man. He's got skills. He's got good speed, good footwork. That's why I do give him a chance.
You do give Crawford.
I do give Crawford a chance, of course. You know, Canelo's last few fights, you know, he does his work. He gets work done, but never does that little extra to please or to. He knows he doesn't need to anymore, so he's just comfortable enough with just securing the win. He became a businessman, and I think that could be something in favor of.
Analysts widely agree that adaptability will be Crawford's key weapon. His ability to switch stances, create angles, and change pace makes him unpredictable, a nightmare for even elite fighters. Against Canelo, that adaptability will be crucial, allowing him to adjust on the fly and find openings against one of the sport's best defenders.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming tap, and it's like David Ebenezer, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switches, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not. You gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his ops, because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an ass.
So the big question remains, do you believe Canelo is using PEDs ahead of the Crawford fight? And should past allegations still influence how we judge a fighter's current integrity?